on many levels, the Utah Adoption Council is dysfunctional as an organization because there are too many agencies that want to keep things status quo.
The president of the Utah Adoption Council has resigned amid controversy over claims the council is working to undermine the rights of birth fathers. Wes Hutchins was to serve another year as the president of the Utah Adoption Council.
Instead, he's founded a new nonprofit that he says will work in the best interest of all parties in adoptions. New specialist Lori Pritchard was at this morning's meeting and joins us with this exclusive story.
Well, let's talk about the Utah Adoption Council, UAC, as it's called. It's made up of adoption agencies, adoption attorneys, adoptive parents, birth mothers, and birth fathers. There was certainly friction in today's meeting as some representing adoption agencies accused Hutchins of having his own agenda, while he fired back at them, saying they are not ethical in administering adoptions.
I've done over 1,080 adoptions, finalized 6 adoptions on Friday of last week alone. And so I'm a big proponent of adoptions, but I very firmly believe that they need to be done legally, constitutionally, and ethically.
Wes Hutchins points to what he calls egregious cases of fraud, like Christopher Carlton, told by the birth mother his child died, and instead she gave the baby up for adoption. Robert Manzanares, told by the birth mother she was going to Utah to visit relatives, only to give the baby up here. Evidence, Hutchins says, that birth mothers should be held accountable.
That's one of the changes that we need to make, is that fraud is no longer accepted as a method of taking a child from one home, destroying that family, and placing it in another home to create another family.
That opinion conflicts with others who sit on the Utah Adoption Council.
Wes has had a different vision of what's best for children in the state of Utah.
Adoption attorney David Hardy, whose clients include adoption agencies and adoptive parents, says Hutchins isn't as focused on what's best for the child.
Wes has taken an approach that looks more at some of the rights, especially of fathers. He's taken some real strong positions on fathers that are in many ways inconsistent with the Utah Code.
There's been a very choreographed effort to put to sweep birth fathers and others under the rug.
And some of those birth fathers were present and vocal.
I do have a voice, and it does need to be heard.
There's 2 sides to every story, but it seems like they don't want to hear the father's side of the story.
And Hutchins says the council didn't really want to hear his. They accused him of having an agenda.
If you want to call that an agenda, absolutely, I have an agenda. And that agenda is to see that we have a balanced approach in Utah to how we're doing adoptions.
Father's rights is certainly a hot-button issue, and today's meeting was certainly tense as each side traded accusations. Back to you.
Thank you, Lori Pritchard.